Hello everyone. I am back after a very long break, and this is my first tournament of this year. And I think the Open tournament, like American Open tournament, I played last time in June, so almost a year later. These tournaments are very tough. Every day I'm gonna have two rounds. Only today I had just one round. The game was smooth. Overall, I am happy with the game. Let's see. We will see if the quality is there too. I mean, I have seen already some surprises on other boards. The first board of the tournament is Oparin 2678, and he had an insane game. And I think he should be. He was kind of a lucky to escape. I was watching after my game. I finished somewhat early, like 20-30 minutes. I was watching quite an interesting one. Maybe in one of my streams I'm gonna show that game for you all. For now, let's see what happened in my game, and yeah, let's do that. Okay, so I decided to play against my opponent Najdorf variation of Sicilian. And here my opponent plays knight b3, which I am not very familiar with. I mean, it's kind of the basic idea is that if I play e5, he wants to play bishop g5. So he gets ready, I think. Instead I played e6, he went for g4. And I'm actually was kind of surprised that after, he played g4 very fast. I played b5, and here he started to think. I don't know, maybe his analysis wasn't deep, especially like in this tournament. The round was at 7 p.m. I don't know, maybe he was traveling. He was late to the game 10 minutes. And the funny thing is that I didn't have a clock to start the time, so I waited for my opponent to bring his chess set and the clock. I have forgotten about this stupid thing. It was a long time since my last event. Even when I played, actually, I played in 2023 two American events, but in both of them they had the boards. But this chess tour events, I guess that they don't give the board, and I forgot to bring my chess set. Hopefully, in the next game, like I hope that this will not happen. Like me and my opponent, we both don't have boards, board and chess set. Then things will be easy. Anyway, so let's see what happened. So he goes g5, I go knight d7. He goes bishop to e3. I was actually at this point I was considering to play b4 instead of bishop b7. I think he should have played a3 instantly. A3, and then it would be something like in the game. But instead he played bishop b3, which gave me additional option of playing b4. And then knight e2, bishop b2, bishop b7, bishop g2. Yeah, this position was looking good to me. Perhaps I should have done, but I decided to stick with my plan, bishop b7. He played a3, knight c6. And in this moment he goes h4, I go rook to c8. And he took, like he has been taking time for each move, and then finally here he spent a lot of time and played a4, which is, I think, terrible move. Yeah, it's a big mistake because after b4 he had to go to knight e2. And I mean I had a pleasant choice, but I went for knight c e5, knight g3 d5. I thought that this was the most direct approach, and I get advantage. So here he goes f4, knight c4, bishop d4, de, and bishop to g2. I have an extra pawn, but the e4 is hanging. So here I spend a significant amount of time trying to find the way to increase my advantage. My first thought was queen to c7, but after castle I wasn't sure. I mean, I saw this immediately, bishop b7, queen b7, and then I was like, after queen f3, how am I getting advantage? Angel says that just take f3, rook f3, and oh, he cannot take e3 because b2 is hanging, and I just play maybe h6, and yeah, black is winning. Yeah, queen c7 indeed was like a very logical move. And after queen c7, to my surprise, Angel says white needs to play queen e2. After bishop d6, knight h5, and black can here play castle, and the big advantage. Anyway, here I played h6, which looked like a logical move to me. I stopped castling. Here he goes queen e2. I take h takes g5. Here he spent a lot of time and made the wrong decision. I think he should have taken rook h1 and bishop h1, go to this position, bishop d6, knight d4, bishop f4, knight f6. And here I think the position is very complicated. Oh, actually, to my surprise, the engine even gives a around equality after knight f6, bishop b7, knight d5, bishop c8, queen c8. I mean, black is exchanged down, has compensation, but after rook d1, it says close to equality. So where did I make a mistake? So h6 was a bad move. And then finally, this was the, I mean, I didn't spend actually enough. I just spent 7 minutes. Maybe I should have spent more time and calculate this queen c7 deeper. I mean, it was so clear to me. I mean, it wasn't clear. Like, I felt like queen c7 is a kind of move that you wanna play. So here there's this line, bishop d5, and then h4 is hanging. And it's hard for him to castle. So yeah, this should have been easy win. So luckily my opponent took fg, which was a mistake actually. I did notice that bishop d6 idea. Although Angel says instead of bishop d6 I should play knight to c5. Actually, I did consider this move for a brief moment. First I thought that he had queen c4, knight d3, cd, rook c4, dc. This is not clear. Then I realized that I have knight b3 and this should be winning. So what? Why didn't I play knight c5? What was? Maybe I thought that he could play rook d1 just, but then queen c7. Yeah, big advantage. Instead, I went for bishop d6. I saw this whole the concept, and I didn't really spend much time to understand what's happening. After queen c7, I felt like this position is winning. Indeed, Angel says it is winning. Therefore, he should have played king f1. But okay, after king f1, I thought that I can grab this pawn, and looks like winning. Although Angel says it is just -1. White has some drawing chances, I guess. Instead, he went bishop f2. I played queen c7, bishop g3, queen g3, queen f2, and I played queen e5, a strong move. Because if I take queen f2, king f2, and then grab the pawn on b2, white has rook a2, knight c4, bishop b7. So we got something similar to the game in the game, but there was a significant difference. So here he plays queen d4, I take b2, he goes for this rook a2 idea. But the problem, oh boy, I made a mistake. Oh boy, I missed this strong move. Rook c3. I was only looking at the rook c4 move, but then he had the knight d2. I forgot that I can play rook c3. The idea that if he plays rook b2, I give a check and grab e4. This position is I have extra pawn, and pawn structure is terrible, so it's completely winning. I did not. I spent like 4 minutes. I was like, okay, I play knight c4, which is not bad move, but far from perfect. This line, white has still some chances. So here, at least I played the correct move, knight f3, and grab g5. I think I should have taken c4 and yeah, played something like knight d2. I thought I was considering this position winning, but Angel says not so far. It's just +1, and yeah, like here I should play rook g4. Then he pushes the pawn. a5, knight d4, a6. Oh, what? a6 here. Oh, knight c3, king f3. So I need to play king e7, knight d4, rook e4, king d3, f5, and oh, Okay, anyway, it's not easy for white to play. Apparently, king d1, d2 is the only one move that gives -1. If he plays a7, for instance, what happens? Oh, he gets mated. I was like, why king d2 is the only one? So there was a mate idea. So anyway, he plays a5, I go knight d4, king f3, knight c3, rook a1, and here I play king e7. So he goes h5, knight d5. So in this position, I think white doesn't have a chance. So after g5, he cannot take. He goes king g3, and after knight d4, he resigned, because if king goes to h3, I take h5. If goes to g2, I take c2. So first game. Well, what can I say? I think it wasn't as smooth as I thought. A few moments I missed the right path to win the game. I don't know. Usually this kind of tournaments, first rounds are always tricky. And the game was at 7 p.m. I am not used to play at this time. So anyway, I guess I am somewhat lucky, but my opponent's defenses weren't as easy. So okay. It is what it is. So first game, I won, and tomorrow I'm gonna have 2 games. So tomorrow is gonna be a tough day. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do it. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.